Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lovely projectors. Look at us go. 46 people already here. That's amazing. And I'm expecting I'll be clicking this blue admit button for a few more minutes. Please mute yourself as you're coming in so we can make sure that the audio quality is good for everyone. It is so lovely to see you, to see some familiar faces, to see some new faces. How are you doing on this interesting, in California, we have a rainy, stormy, some blue in the sky morning. I feel like Happy New Year. Yes, I haven't seen you in a while. Say hi to each other in the comments if you would like to. I would love. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see you all and your comments coming in. Oh my goodness. Oh, no, I just have to take a moment. I am so freaking honored. I'm so grateful that you're here. At the time I looked earlier, like half an hour ago, there were 342 of you amazing humans signed up for this masterclass, trusting me to learn from me. I'm so freaking grateful that I have built this kind of a business over the last 5 years where I get to work with awesome humans such as you, and where I can create a safe space for us projectors to work together I mean, if you've been in some of my group programs before, you have experienced what it feels like to be in a mosh pit, I was going to say, of projectors, and how things come through that aren't possible in other spaces. I keep clicking the blue button. You're so welcome. Ah, this is so amazing. I get to do this with you because the niching piece is so close and dear to my heart, to me, especially for us projectors. And I will go, of course, deeply into it later as well. But just because we as projectors, we just love helping people, right? And then it can be, so just a quick distinction real quick, right? We are projectors, we are creative beings, we have intuition, we have creativity, and all that kind of stuff feels incredibly fulfilling to bring through. We also love recognition. And if I'm looking out there, it's just because I don't want to get distracted by your beautiful faces. But we want that recognition. We want those invitations, right? And a lot of the time in our life, we haven't gotten that. Or not to the extent that we really wanted to. We've always sensed that we have an incredibly powerful message. We have wisdom, we have guidance to share. And a lot of the time in our lives, we have gotten rejected for it, or, we felt how powerful we are, but we didn't know how to use it. So then oftentimes we crave that recognition so much that we actually put our power too small. We put ourselves away, and then we forget. Then it can become very, very easy to just go like, I just need recognition by anyone. I can help anyone, which we can. If the recognition is right, that's the theme of a right recognition. If the recognition is right, then we can help that person. That's what the invitation is for, right? It's energetic. So if somebody sees us for our genius, whether it's our dream client or not, then we can help them because we have what they invite us for. We have what they need when the recognition is right. But then, so that is us just as a human projector, right? In this little circle. But then we're also a business owner. And then everything becomes different. So, because as a business owner, we can't be a people pleaser anymore, right? So That's the thing where we have to get really organized, really strategic, really intentional, really logical about things, right? And it's lovely and perfect if you can mix your intuition and your creativity and your humanness with your business. But there are different aspects to it, that different pieces of our identity that we need to tap into. So we're going to go really into that today. And I'm so, so happy that you're here with me, because I hope that it will lift a lot of the confusion around your niche, around who you help, around your business, and around you as a person in your private, in your personal life versus you as a business owner, right? The badass boss lady that you are. Mostly ladies. If there are any gentlemen here, as a boss man, I haven't actually checked. So thanks for saying hi in the chat. This was just something that came through, and oh my gosh, all the highs from all over the world. Look at this. I can't even say this all. You guys are so awesome. I'm just reading it. Where you're all from. New Jersey. Alrighty, so I have my Heelys going. If you have a Heely, you're very welcome to tune in as a little frequency device if you don't know what it is. This one here is running on coherence, so I'm tuned in. The one I have stuck in my bra is on a program called Subtle. It's a defense program, but it's not a criminal defense or country defense. It's called Subtle, so that I can stay in my own energy, because there are a lot of people here. And then my big Healy that it has the atmospheric programs is blinking on. Here it's blinking. It's blinking very strongly on prosperity for all of us, because that's my intention for us, for you, that you. Oh, there's a gentleman. Hi, Hans. Happy Hans is here. That this is going to also bring you more prosperity, because that's the whole point, really, of having a business, is to make money, right? And whoever gives you crap for that, it's just like, you have no idea. You're either not a business owner or you're not a good business owner. So prosperity is just something that is also our birthright, right? So it's okay for us to make money. It's okay for us to be incredibly well taken care of financially, because why should we struggle, So that's why that thing's most often running on prosperity. Helps me really tune into like what's essential and what needs to be said. Very similar actually to the coherence program, but it has a slightly different intention. So it's called a Healy. Oh yeah. And the Healy is based on a network marketing model. So if you want one, you can just ask me for my link, and then you automatically be on my team. And then we have a lot more mentorship and coaching for you in there as well. Different subject, just wanted to mention it. So if you are new to my world, I would love for you to put a 1 in the comments, just so I know how many people are here that aren't familiar with my work yet. And if you're not new to my world and you've already worked with me or taken classes from me before, please put a 2 so I get a sense. Oh my God, 3. Yes, Anna, we've been deep. Love it, love it, love it. 2.5 from Hans. Yes, we've also been deep. I love it. Lots of 2s, lots of 1s. I love you guys. That's so awesome. Yes, I'm seeing so many new names, and this is amazing. Great. So just arrived. That's okay. Mercury retro 2 plus 2, 2 times 2. Yes, Jess, that's awesome. So just get a sense now. Excellent. Got a bunch of new people here, a bunch of old timers. That's amazing. So I just wanted to make a little roll call and see that you're in the right place. So you're in the right place here, and this is going to benefit you immensely if you are an online entrepreneur, most likely you are an online coach, right? Who here is an online coach? You can put another emoji or, yeah, put an emoji in the comments if you're an online coach. So I know, but you can also be yeah, so many coaches. I love it. It's just us projectors wanting to help people, right? Let me help you. I know it. Let me help you. And so if you are an online entrepreneur, online coach, you want to know who you're here to serve. That's probably a big reason why you're here. And also, if you are that, it'll benefit you hugely. Also, if you want your messaging to become more precise, because when you know who you're serving, who you're here to serve, then you can speak to these people way more in detail, right? Also, if you want more aligned clients who are happy to pay you without objections, that's also the benefit of finding your niche. Also, but don't say this out loud, but you've all had these clients who take a ton of energy from you, right? You don't want those anymore. You want the clients that really fill your heart, where you're like, oh my God, I have a call on the calendar with that person. It's going to be such an awesome morning. You want more of those clients. That's also what knowing your niche and finding your niche will help you with. Also, just you want your work to be more fun and fulfilling, right? Because when you find your thing, you can help everyone and it can be fun. But when you find your thing, when you find your niche and you get to focus on that one thing, everything's just going to be so much more fun and fulfilling. And you just want to feel overall more successful in your work. So if that is you, then you're in the right place and we're going to have an awesome time together. And yeah, whether you are new in business, no, let me send that back. That's going to come in a little bit. Because it doesn't matter if we're new in business or if we're already established. But why niche? So why is it important even to find a niche? And I could have gotten way deeper into this in the promotion for this masterclass, but I didn't even need to, because all of you wanted to be here just to find your niche, because you understand that there is an importance to it, right? And the points that I just said in the roll call, when I like, if you are this or that, or you want this or that, then you're in the right place. But those are also the reasons why it's important to niche, right? So for example, for your messaging, and if you've worked with me before, or if you haven't, but messaging is one of my superpowers. It's one of my deepest passions. And I've studied marketing psychology and sales and messaging for many, many years. And I continue to always learn on top of it. It's just one of my biggest passions. And that's like one of my zones of genius. So for that to be so on point, to be speaking to someone so precisely, you need to know what your niche is, right? And maybe you've heard this before. It's like a marketing throw-in sentence. You'll hear this everywhere, but if you haven't, it's the whole, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one thing. And the online industry, as you are probably aware, has gotten really, really big. A lot of people have figured out that this is a really beautiful way, to help people, because we can be location independent. We can help people over the internet, right? And it's also a really amazing way to earn money from wherever you are, home, vacation, your grandma's house, you can work from wherever. So a lot more people are doing it. And so this is also why the audience and the consumer has gotten so much more fine-tuned. And then, there's not just one life coach out there. There's like, I can choose from everyone, And so it is so much more important now than ever that you are speaking precisely to the people who need your help with the problem that you're solving, that they have, right? So that is one big reason, that you can really, really fine-tune your message and speak, get in their heads, get in their hearts, help them understand that you are the one who can help them with their problem. Because ultimately, what is a business, right? A business is here to solve a problem or to get people what they want, right? And if anyone is telling you, oh, you're just doing this to get money, it's like, yeah, of course I'm doing this to get money, but I'm solving a problem or I'm getting you what you want, right? So what's bad about paying money for that, right? People pay money for zucchini or jeans all day long because they want the pair of jeans or they need the zucchini, right? Zucchini is solving the problem of getting you more veggies and fiber in your diet, right? And whatever it is, the jeans solves a problem of making your butt look cuter, but also you just want it, there's not always a reason. It's like, so having a business is that. And what your messaging is here to do, what you're niching also, first of all, hi, little child. Oh God, I get distracted when I see cute children. Oh my God, turn me off. What your messaging is here to do is not manipulative. It's all about helping that person who is your ideal client understand why you are the person who can solve their problem, why you are the person who can get them what they want. So that is number one, big reason, no big deal, why niching is so important, right? Then also, you're able to help the right people, right? Like I said before, we projectors, we are so good at so many things so easily, right? Give us a system and we're here like decode, understand. And every human is a system, right? So put a human in front of us. We're like, I got you figured out. I got, all you got to do is this, right? But some of these people are not ready. I mean, who here has had friends, acquaintances, family members who you have exactly the perfect guidance or advice for, and you've probably told them several times and they're still not doing it, and you're like, I've got those people in my life, right? Raise your hand. Even clients, right? But this is also the thing, when you have your niche and you know who you're serving and you know what problem you're solving for them, then you are going to pull in the people who actually are going to take your advice. They're going to pay you for your guidance. They're not going to be like, oh, but I don't know if this is worth the money, but get away, get out of here. If you're like, if you don't know if it's worth the money that I solve your problem, you're not my person, right? And this is just a little bit of an exaggeration, but just to make the point that we are then able to help the right people and help more people, ironically, right? So a lot of the reason why people aren't choosing a niche or why they're hesitant to choose a niche is because then they think they're going to have a smaller pool of people to choose from to work with, right? But with 8 billion people in the world, and look at this. I only help projectors grow their business massively, right? And there were 342 signups for this class, right? What could I do if all 342 people who signed up for this masterclass wanted my help? That would be massive, right? That would be a lot for me to do. That would be, holy cow, like my calendar packed, my courses packed. I would have a lot of people to help, right? And projectors are 20% of the population. So some of you might focus on mothers, women, men, probably roughly 50-50. Then you deduct some percentage for the people, the women who are, in a fertile age. I don't know, maybe mothers is also like maybe 10-20% of the population. I don't know. Then maybe it's new mothers, right? But there's a lot of people, right? Maybe you're women who gained 10 pounds over Christmas. Maybe that's your group, Oh my God, there's a ton of them, right? Look at how Weight Watchers, I don't know when you grew up, but when I was a kid in Germany, my mom went to these Weight Watchers meetings and they're still around. They're still helping people count points and whatnot, There's always people who need that, right? So the more you niche And you can actually have a smaller audience too. You don't need 40,000 followers on Instagram, right? If you're having and speaking to people and knowing who you, what if you just get like the next aligned client tomorrow, this week, and then 2 or 3 more this month? That is not a lot of people out of the giant 8 billion out there, and the internet can reach everywhere, right? So just thinking of it more like, oh my God, I'll have more. And this is really also a projector thing, right? As a generator, and I'm not saying we can't do this, but as a generator, it's more easy to go Beyonce, she's a generator, 1-3. But she's got like the world wrapped around, she like that aura is just big, but our aura is so focused. So we would be doing our own genius a disservice if we didn't use our focused aura to focus it on something specific. And as a projector, we are really here to find our system, our people, our focus. We are really, really not for everyone, right? So, and did I just see Taylor Swift mentioned there? Because she is a projector. And she's, yeah, exactly. She is a projector, and she's also wrapping the world around her finger, but she does it in a different way. And so if you're interested in studying this, I would invite you to watch a Beyonce documentary versus a Taylor Swift documentary and see what the differences are there, how they do that. And it's not like you can't do this. Halle Berry is a projector. Leonardo DiCaprio is a projector. Harry Potter is a projector. Hermione is a projector. George Clooney is a projector. Brad Pitt is a projector. Jeff Bezos is a projector, right? Amazon founder. It's not like we can't go big, right? But we have to start right here, right? Focusing our aura into our niche. And then the more recognition we get for our genius, the more it'll become a magnetic self-attracting machine. I'm still clicking the blue button, guys, if you get, that's why, She also started out very niched. There you go, Pamela. See, there you go. That's such an aligned way for us as a projector. So, do we need any more reasons? I have another good one. I just wanted to look at the comments real quick. Does a life coach need to niche if her service is available for everyone? See, Diana, that's what we're going in. That's exactly why you're here, and that's why we're going into this today. Cute butt and fiber from veggies. All right, so one more thing why niching is so important. The more you niche, the more specific problems you will solve, right? And let's get back to Diana's question right now, and we'll do a little Q&A at the end if we have time, but I'm not sure how much I can pay attention to questions while I'm going through this, because I want to invite you to go through everything with me first before asking questions, because we might answer a bunch. And I also love when you get your own answers through the process, because then it sticks a lot deeper. A life coach, let's say I say I'm a life coach. I help somebody with their life. That could be nice, right? Like, but what does that mean? And I already see a couple of you going like, so what does it mean? A life coach. Okay, I helped someone make their life better. That feels nice. I'm not feeling that anywhere in my body yet, right? But if somebody comes to me and says, so what is part of life, right? Let's pick somewhere. For example, I help people make more money doing what they love. So if somebody, oh my God, I'm already feeling that in my heart now, right? So if somebody comes to me and part of life is, so I'm also a life coach, right? Because helping you make more money doing what you love is part of life. But if I get recognition for that, If someone, I mean, it happens all the time. My clients message me, oh my God, it's never been so easy to make this much money, like with you, right? And I'm like, oh my God, that's why I get up in the mornings. Then I tear up, then I feel massive confidence in my work. And then I know, like, oh my God, I can do this, right? And again, this gives me massive conviction that what I'm doing is the right thing that I should be doing, because it makes me feel so successful when people come to me with that. And that confidence and that conviction that I have. And it's not that I'm searching that to get validation, because then I'm not in my power, right? But it's that feedback loop of, and I'll take you through this here because we're going to workshop this, but it's that feedback loop of, oh my God, this is my value. This is what I really care about helping people with. And it feels really, really good to offer that. And when I get the reports back, it's like, it's a match. It gives me energy. It gives them energy. It's like a whole, my mom always said a perpetuum mobile. Mobile doesn't exist, right? That machinery that just keeps going without needing any more energy input. So I don't really know, but it feels very close to that. It's like that machinery just keeps going because you get constant recognition, you get constant confidence, and that makes you want to keep doing more of it. So if you know your niche, that is also very important for this process. So my intention for you for this class is for you to get exactly out of it what you set your intention for. So I want to know now in the comments, and this is for you also, so that you know at the end of the class if you made your intention, if you fulfilled your own prophecy, right? Because when you set your intention, you're going to pay different attention to what wants to come through, and you're going to get your own downloads that are necessary. So I want you to set a very strong intention for our workshopping here, for our masterclass. What would you like to get? And the title almost gives it away, but I want you to set your own intention, right? I want, and even if it sounds like everyone else's intention, that's totally fine. Then we're a very, very strong and focused mastermind container, which is even better. Mastermind being a pool of people and brains where we all work on the same thing together. Get clear on my niche. Feel energized by loving the service I can bring to my niche. Be more specific on my niche so I can reach my ideal client with ease. Oh my God, I love it. Keep them coming, guys. I know there's 65 of you here. Intention is to get clarity whether I'm already serving a niche and how to talk to them. Understand how to know that the niche is correct for me. Define my niche, refresh my content, speak directly to them. Now you guys are coming in fast. Clarify any doubts about chosen niche. Identify the niche where I can be recognized. Would love to really feel what my right niche is. Get clear my niche. Oh my God. Okay. We're going there. It's excitement, alignment, clarity for many. I can't read that fast, but we're energetically holding them all together. Get clear on how to speak to the people in my niche. Clarity and focus. Align my niche with my design. Being in love with it. Getting clarity. Okay, sounds like you're all setting a very powerful intention, and I love it. And I really want to invite you to take this process into everything you do. Even if you're putting your baby to bed, give it an intention. Because when you give something an intention, it becomes, it usually already happens because you set that intention, and it becomes more joyful, right? It feels purposeful when you're doing something. So the more intentionally you can live your life, but also the more intentionally you can go after your goals. And this is one of your goals, right? That we're achieving here today. We're helping you achieve clarity on your niche or whatever the variation is on your intention. Better define my niche and improve my messaging. Love it, love it, love it. So we have a strong intention. So let us get started with the workshopping part, which I love so much. So you're very welcome to workshop with us all together in the chat section, or also privately in your journal or on your piece of writing. So if you don't have anything to write, either grab something or use the chat section. You can always copy and paste it out into your notes section as well. But why I love doing this on these classes is because afterwards we go back to our other responsibilities in life, right? And sometimes we forget to, might as well do it here, right? Get it done, be efficient, projector efficient, get it through, and then get what you came here for. So my starting question for you is, why did you start your business? And hold off a second. What challenge or problem motivated you to want to do this? So I'm not accepting any because I wanted to help people answers, because we all love that. But I want you to really reflect on what was the challenge or the problem in your life, or that you helped someone solve as a hobby, as a friend, as a person, as a human being, that you're like, oh my God, that felt so deeply fulfilling. That felt so necessary. This is one of my deepest values. This is why I want to do this professionally. What was that challenge? What was that problem? What made you want to start your business? So take a moment. And okay, I'm already seeing something. Love you, Alex. Yes, there will be a replay. So if you're saying, Claudia, for example, finding myself, but what was the problem and what was the challenge? I mean, maybe finding yourself was that, but how did that show up in your life? What was the deepest, darkest valley you had to go through because you weren't finding yourself yet? So I really want you to focus what that challenge was, what that problem was that motivated you to start your business. Let me see what you guys are saying. I was never celebrated, and I want to teach others to celebrate themselves. I kept buying the wrong thing for home to treat myself like my own designer. That's lovely. I felt seen, validated, and appreciated by astrology. I wanted to help others experience the same feeling. It was a calling since childhood. Okay, let me just throw in here one, because astrology is a tool. Human design is a tool, right? That's not the problem. What was the problem? What was the challenge? Teresa just knew she was going to be an entrepreneur since childhood. My path was so hard for me that it makes me really happy to help others lighten their journey. Okay. Relationships, walking emotionally wounded, guided myself to lose 100 pounds and healing my chronic depression. Okay. So Jess has a really amazing example here of what is amazing for precision and for, talking about a challenge, talking about a problem, so that another person can directly resonate with it, right? So she's saying, I had guided myself to lose 100 pounds in healing my chronic depression I had been suffering from for 15 years. That is a challenge and a problem, right? That motivated her to want to help others with. And I know we can get swooped up in beautiful language, but I want you to do this exercise as simple and human problem focused as possible, right? So what was the big problem that was either in your life? Did you keep losing relationships, or did you keep putting on weight no matter what you did? Or did you keep biting your fingernails and couldn't stop it? Or were you addicted to some substances? Or what was that problem? You know, you want to really, and this is also where we go already deeper into the niching, but I want you to really reflect and start thinking in that way. Because if I'm a client, and I know we're not there yet, but if you're going to speak to clients on a level of, I help you find yourself, give me $5,000, they're like, what the fuck? You know, I can find myself in the shower. But you want to make it, I'm not meaning, if I pick on anyone, it's not personal. It's just because I want to make it clearer to everyone what kind of thing we're looking for so that you can all benefit from it. And also the next one, for example, Imani saying, I want to teach others to celebrate themselves. If you weren't celebrated in your life, what was the effect of that? What was the problem? Not being celebrated was probably the reason for the problem, right? But what was the problem? Same with, I hope I say your name correctly, Baina. If you keep buying the wrong things for your home, what happens? Like, why, like, what was the problem? Did you lose a lot of money, or did you just hate your environment and it, like, then you bought the wrong things and you felt terrible in your own home? What was it? You know, what was the problem? Andrea said, my path was so hard for me. Okay. And then go deeper into that. What part of the path was so hard for me? Why, you know, what happened? That's the things that we're looking for. Okay, I'm going to scroll a little now that I talked. I'm going to look what you guys are making of this. Claudia says, I was unhappy with my job and the people I worked with, my finances, everything. I was burned out and didn't know what to do. Perfect. Now that is already so much more precise. Do you see how you're going to immediately get a different connection to that? When other people, when you guys read that, you're feeling it too, right? That the impossible is possible, whether you come from, that's the same thing. Let's focus on what was a problem, what was a challenge. Evelyn says, I did not feel seen in my previous companies, and I want to work with people who value me and share my experience with. So if you didn't feel seen in your previous companies, what did that result in? Did that result in you not earning the money that you wanted, or you're not getting the pay raise, or the, how do you call it? I'm so long out of the corporate world. the you know, not the raise just, but also the different title. I forgot what you call it. But, or did it just mean that you hated your job every day and felt like torturing yourself when you went there? Lisa says, constant cycle of worry, which started affecting me physically. Perfect. So for you, it's a physical thing. So how did that show up? What was the physical showing up? I want to drill you. Like my South Node in Aries is the drill sergeant. So we're gonna drill you to think really, really specifically, you know, because the more specifically, and this is going to take inner growth for many of us, right? The more specifically we talk about things, the more vulnerable it becomes, right? If we're talking about our own life, but also if we're talking about others, we have to stand up in another level of conviction and confidence around that we can help them with that, right? So physically, it's like, okay, we're still keeping it kind of here, right? But if you say, I'm just making up an example here. My cycle of worrying, my constant brain loops of worrying started to grow me warts on my ass, right? Just saying, so that it's more visual, that it's more detailed, right? But then it's like, oh my God, she had warts on her. No, but you could say like, I constantly had stomach problems or couldn't keep any food down or whatever it is, you know? We're looking for that thing, that problem, that challenge that really that you had that motivated you to start this? I hated being an employee. It was torture for me. That's where I'm coming from too. My bosses were all like, why can you? I was like, why can you not do this better? I felt lost without guidance. I made many mistakes in life and want to save time for others and live with focus. So, what mistakes were the worst for you? What were the most painful ones there, Beata? Go deep. Abusive relationships in different areas of my life. Yep. And then you can also go into like what was the one that motivated you the most? What was the one that was most painful? Yeah, Marwa too came out of an abusive relationship, single mom of 4. And I didn't want to sacrifice my ability to continue to stay at home and raise my kids. So what was your biggest problem there? Was it how to come, and we're just going more fine-tuned already, for all of you. Was the problem to get out of the abusive relationship, or was the problem that you were a single mom of 4? Or was it that the relationship was about to sacrifice your ability to stay at home and raise your kids, and so you had to learn how to raise into your power? So make really clear what the problem is here. Limitless says, being unable to find my passion because everything inside me was highly oppressed by my narcissistic upbringing. Oh my good. And this is wonderful, finding your passion. And that's a lot of healing. I gave trouble with this part. I don't have a problem or challenge. I just love to learn and share with others, open to receiving this knowledge, which is always changing. Okay, Robin. So for you, but what was the thing that really inspired you to start your business? Did you see someone else suffering with something? What was it? And maybe there might be people who don't have this. And for that, we have a different solution. Don't worry. But for a lot of us, and especially for a lot of us projectors, this is why we start our business. And this is also where the embodiment comes from. This doesn't mean that we can't have a business when we're not embodied in a solution, because there's also other ways of business. But for most of us online coaches, online entrepreneurs, this is the starting point, Kamala says, miserable working in a job I didn't like, with people I didn't like, and basically ignored me. Perfect. Pamela started my healing business. Some people weren't getting results from coaching alone because of trauma response. Okay. Did you see anything that most touched you? Waste money and time and feel like a loser, angry as I'm a trained designer. But not everyone is going to be a trained designer, right? So just then it's probably mostly that you got motivated that because you wasted so much time and money and felt angry at yourself, that then you went that route. Andrea said, my problem was I didn't feel loved or valuable. And as a result, what happened in your life because you didn't feel loved or valuable? What was the symptom? We're looking for symptoms, guys. Real life 3D symptoms. Carmen says, my specific problem was that I used sugar to cope, and shopping and unhealthy relationships. Good. And as a result to that, what was the problem? Did you gain a lot of weight? Were you unhealthy? Were you low energy? Unhealthy relationships is already a good one too. Promotion. Yeah, thank you for that word. Pursuing careers that lacked sole purpose and continuing to burn out. Decided to follow my bliss and make a living doing it. Excellent. That's often how it goes. Problem was people pleasing, so being taken for granted, so people didn't feel that I needed recognition, celebration, because I was happy to be available to everyone else. So the problem was people pleasing. People pleasing was the reason why the problem happened. You were taken for granted. People didn't feel that you needed recognition. But based on those reasons, okay, what happened in your life? What was the real symptom that happened when you were people pleasing, when people didn't feel that you needed recognition, when you didn't love yourself? What was the symptom, Imani, that happened in your life that made you say, like, no more? Rebecca felt like an alien in her childhood, something that didn't exist. After years of people pleasing, repressing my authentic self, and trying to be who I thought I needed to be. So, same with that, Rebecca. What was the thing that happened because of that? Because you were people pleasing and repressing your authentic self. And the thing is, you as a healer, you as a coach, and you having gone through this now and having healed this in yourself, you are talking about the reason why it happened. But I want you to find the problem and the challenge. And I want you to get really, really fine-tuned on this. It's very, very important. That's why I'm drilling on this so hard, because now you know, but the people that you're going to help in your niche, they don't know that. And people pleasing can be an indicator to a niche, but people pleasing, I'm just saying people pleasing as an example here, but people pleasing, people who people please is not a niche. People who get beaten up by their husband because they're a people pleaser, that's a niche, right? And that's an extreme example, but there's a lot of things that happen because people please, right? So we're not talking symptoms, we're talking problems. The underdog. And Ariane, you're writing your desires here, but what was the problem that you had? Not the reason why you had the problem, but the problem based on all these things that you're writing. Early childhood trauma, addiction and eating disorders, feeling empty in the corporate world. There you go. Addiction and eating disorders. Yeah. So those are still a little bit reasons, eating disorders, but they result in something. I want you to take every one of these things all the way to the end. If you do this in your life, then what? If you're addicted to, let's say, you could be addicted to anything, but let's go all the way. If you're addicted to heroin, right? And you're a user, there are some functional ones I heard, but most of the time, like you'll lose your job, or you'll end up living in the Tenderloin in San Francisco on the sidewalk in a tent with a needle in your arm. You contract diseases. You don't have a life, like you become homeless, you become sick, you contract AIDS. Okay, we're going dark. It must be because it's gray outside. We're going dark. You guys can handle this, you're healers. But that I just want to give you more and more examples so you understand what we're looking for is not the reason why it happened. We're not looking for why you want to get out of this, but we're looking for what was the problem, what was the challenge. I'm just going to scan real quick so it doesn't take so long. Feeling depressed, burnt out, and underappreciated at work and in my relationships. This resulted in self-medicating with food, alcohol, and overspending. Okay, there you guys go. Now you're getting real. This is what we need. Doormatted and scapegoated as an example for others as a martyr, which did not serve me. Gifts were silenced, unsilencing your gifts. Oh my God. Okay. And I want to invite you to read the other guys too and see like which ones are you really feeling like in your body, or which ones are you feeling in your head? So we want to find the things that you're really, really feeling in your body. It's like, oh my God, that problem that person had. Oh my God, I get it. Andrea says, the problem for me was to deal with the codependency and vulnerability that you end where you're in an abusive relationship. It just destroys you as a person. So after that, you need to start rebuilding yourself again, knowing yourself deeply, heal the wounds, and so far. I'm feeling that in my body. We will find better word for this, but I think you're really feeling it now too, like the level of, I'm looking, can I see you on camera? We have a lot of beautiful people here. Anyways, are you really feeling this now too? Like, oh my God, yeah, now I'm really connected to why I started this. Can I repeat that about embodiment? I don't know. Can I? What did I say? As a projector, if we do start our business from this kind of reason, the embodiment is very important. It doesn't mean that we can't have a business if we're not embodying something, right? So, for example, if you have a product-based business, or for example, the example of an Olympic coach, right? If a coach is coaching an Olympian and has never played at the Olympic Games before, they're technically not embodying it, but because they know how to coach that person, they can coach them, right? So it's not just that, but in many, many cases, especially when we had these reasons of a deep challenge, like in my case, for example, right? And we'll go look in your chart now in a little bit too, like where can you find this if you don't have any hints, but or where can you connect this even deeper? For me, it was the big challenge that I had in building a business as a projector that, that made me want to study. I had like a deep passion for it. Like I needed to figure this out. I wanted to figure this out. And I'm a 1-3, so I study deeply and I try out everything. And it's like, oh my God, I know so much about this now. I really want to help other projectors with this, right? So for me, that was that. And that's where my Saturn is in my astro chart. Saturn is also where we create structures, but it's also the great teacher, right? So it's been teaching me very wisely. I don't know. Hopefully that answered your question. Overweight, unhealthy, unhappy, lonely, alone. See, there we go, Carmen. Bullseye. Are you feeling this now? Are you feeling where we're going with this? Pamela says, becoming paralyzed, resistant, feeling worthless, emotionally spinning out, quitting, fear. Yes, all of these things. And still, those are all, what did that lead to in those people's lives that touched you the most? Was it that they lost their relationships? Was it that they lost their children? Was it that they were physically unhealthy, Because if you're unable to take actions outside of your comfort zone, that can apply to any area in life. We are finding the area now, Pamela, that really touched you the most. Procrastination, joy and happiness. Problem. I felt like I had to have a perfectly designed space to be worthy, be like everyone else. Oh, now we're getting into the belonging thing. Okay. See how you can take all of this so much deeper, and this is where we're going right in. Unresolved trauma is the reason why the problem happens, Pamela, not the problem. Drill in deeper. Amani says, because of people pleasing, I fell into bad relationships and smoking pot and started losing trust in myself. Wow, there you go. And can you take that even deeper? What happened? Because, well, if you're in a bad relationship, that's already awful, right? But smoking pot and losing yourself and losing trust in yourself, did it go any further? Was there a point where it's like, no mas, like I'm done with this? Carmen says, problem, overweight, lonely, isolated, dissociated, disconnected from my body. See, guys, now you are getting it. Woo. Too many people to work with, take care of, and help at the same time. Not just the pupils. I needed to work one-to-one or in smaller groups with well-being instead of maths. Okay. So I'm still tuning into that. Anna says, symptoms of my struggle: being unhappy, tired, unfulfilled, not living my life, not feeling valuable with the things I really love, feeling as if my deepest truth was somehow wrong, always felt small and full of fear. Got it. Well, yeah, that sounds horrible. I think unhappy, tired, unfulfilled, and then not living my life. Is there anything else that happened as a result? Or was that it? Was that the thing where you're like, I need to get out of this? Migraine headaches, worry created migraines, constant unease in my body, as if something was going to happen, impending doom, indigestion, and lack of a good night's sleep. There you go. Now you have it. Those were the problems. I didn't know how to handle my energy, felt overwhelmed, and did not know who I really am, low self-esteem. And based on that, what happened, Evelyn? I'm taking you deeper too. Single mom with a child, children who have special health needs, relinquishing control over finances, and navigating true values and the simple things that are most important. So the problem, the challenge was being a single mom with a child or children who have special health needs. What was challenging about that? Coming up with the money or organizing it all? Okay. Ariane says, I felt disconnected and didn't know. And if I'm skipping yours, it's just because I'm looking through and seeing what else, because I also want to see what you guys are already coming up based on all the deeper diving questions. Disconnected, didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, exhausted and not having enough money and time to really do what I really wanted. That's a detailed problem. Are you feeling now the difference, Ariane, in like when you go take it to that place? I don't know. It's different when I can't see you all on camera, but I hope you're feeling this now. This is what the problem was. Catherine had low energy. My body collapsed and went to an emergency surgery at that time and didn't know that I was in a toxic relationship with my job, felt angry, getting away from family, friends, believing that for a business to grow, to be successful, I needed to be pushing, working 24/7. Yeah, so body collapse. Wow. Parental abandonment in everything, of which a person abandons themselves in all areas of life. It's finding surrogate parents of my friends who saw me through my teenage years. That's wonderful. Brady, oh, we have another gentleman here. Nice. I got tired of my own suffering, carrying the baggage and projections of others, numb, idling by as a father and husband, not knowing how to feel and express my emotions, didn't know how to because I was never shown. For men, that's so normal, right? It's so sad that it's normal. I grew up with the weight of men not feeling their emotions, responded to while in law enforcement, just added to the weight. I'm just looking through. My relationship was suffering. My children got half the men they deserved, and I was emotionally activated by just about everything because how deep my pain ran about. Wow, 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 wow. I love all of this. I learned how to let it all go, to accept who I am while learning about my potential. I'm the man I deserved myself as a child. My relationships had a stronger foundation than I've ever experienced, with complete and utter acceptance. I now live present, free, and fulfill. I hope I read that right, but that's amazing. Challenge to find the passion and get rid of the oppression was the duration and simultaneously trusting that there's a bigger plan. Yep. Beate felt disconnected. Went for jobs that paid the most to survive and wouldn't allow myself to pursue my passion. Oh, that is very juicy. I went into relationships knowing it's just a temporary fix, not allowing myself to believe real love even exists. Cool. So there, Beate, you can already start, because this is really cool and detailed. Which one at the moment or at the time, what was more motivating to you, the jobs part or the relationships part? Anna says, I'm definitely touched most when people do not trust their own truth anymore. Oh, yeah. Overstressed to the point of neuropathy. Oh, wow. See, guys, you're getting not allowing myself to be the artist that I've always been. Felt like I only lived half a life. Ooh, so juicy. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing this too, Brady. It's so wonderful when men start to become emotionally vulnerable and aware and wise. That is such a joy for all us women to, I'm just speaking for all of us, sorry guys, but it's just such a joy for women to see. Thank you, Brady. I felt that I had to be someone else than me to be loved and seen. So you couldn't be the artist that you wanted to be, and you had to be someone else. That's powerful. As I lost trust in myself, lost my confidence, lost my sense of self, mental breakdown, I had only God and rebuilt from there. See, that is powerful embodiment, Imani, right there. And vulnerable and how do you call it? Resonatable. People can resonate with that, you know? Connection to myself, burnout. Okay. The jobs parts as of the relationship with myself. Yes. So jobs, wonderful. It took time to integrate my pain to become my power. Thank you for seeing me. You're welcome. Thank you for doing this. I hope you do this. And I'm not assuming that you work with men to do this, but I hope you work with men to do this. Because holy cow, we all need this. We all need it. Aimee says, for me, it's been great pain to feel inadequate, always strange. Every day I feel more comfortable in myself. So wait, great pain to always feel inadequate. So based on that pain, what happened in your life? Aimee. Feel disconnected from self, others, life, and money. I run men's groups. Thank the heavens, Brady. I was hoping you were. Pamela, based on feeling you know, Pamela and I, we know each other. Pamela, based, you know, I drill you. Based on feeling disconnected from self, others, life, and money, what happened in their life? What was the problem that most distraught you to see? Okay. All right. So now you're getting it, right? I want to see where we're at. Are you guys feeling, put a 1 please in the comments if you are feeling that this depth of connecting. All right, you guys already know what I'm asking. All right, you're feeling it? Got it. Just imagine if we can help the vets and first responders heal from their shadows. Yeah, they can hold the darkness in the world. This is so beautiful that you say that. And you also said something about law enforcement. I just found it so beautiful. Once a policeman said to me, I was talking to him about his work, and I said, holy shit, you see a lot of terrible stuff. And he says, yeah, oftentimes he feels like his purpose is, or for all of the police people to see things for us so the rest of us don't have to see it. And I was like, that's fucking powerful, you know? Witnessing is a real power. And it's like, yes, they do law enforcement and all the paperwork and arrest people and write tickets, but a lot of what these people have to do, they have to witness shit that you and I don't want to see every day, right? So they hold the darkness at bay. Not everyone can hold that pain. And it's not, yeah. And even like, I want to invite you to even like shift your language on that. It's not even the holding of the pain, it's the witnessing, right? Because if you're holding it, that it indicates maybe that you have to hold it in your body, whereas versus if you're witnessing it, you don't even have to let it in. But you can just help it be witnessed so that it can pass, right? It's more of a pass-through situation. Anyhow, you're feeling, so a lot of people are feeling the one. So what I was going to ask is, are you already feeling like based on what we're looking for here, how powerful it is when we dip deeper into a niche from like, I help a person with their body doing Reiki to I help you get rid of your constant migraines from over worrying. And the Reiki, oh, I said Reiki, and I think in German we say that, but here's my invitation to you, and I really hope that you take this seriously. Your method, your tools have very little, if nothing, to do with your niche. So I use human design. I use some astrology. I'm not an astrologer. I use tons and billions of other tools, right, that I've studied. And I mention them sometimes, right? But they are not my niche. They're my tools that I help my to get the people in my niche the result from my niche, right? So I want to invite you to really talk about things without mentioning your tools. Meditation, massage, human design, astrology. The reason why you are using those tools and with who, for what reason, for what result. That's what we're doing here. Okay, we already got so much accomplished just by that exercise. And we're going to do a little bit more. And this is also tools versus niche. Exactly. Same here. Use HR. Is that HD? Gene keys as tools to understand the person in front of me. Give an example about not talking about tools. Well, so your tools help get a person the result that they came here for, right? For example, if you are a jeans manufacturer, a denim manufacturer, you have to use blue dye or black dye or whatever dye at some point, right? But you don't talk to people about the dye, right? You don't talk about the cotton process. Sometimes they do, they put a little sticker like recycled material or whatever. But most of all, the marketing of a pair of jeans is about how it makes you feel, how it makes you look. It talks about what you want from the jeans. You don't care what blue dye they used, what black dye they used, right? They don't care. I don't care. Like if I need you to help me get the relationship of my life, I don't care if you make me climb up my curtains, if that's what we're doing here, you know? I don't care if it's Reiki. I don't know. I don't care if it's meditation, human design. For some people, it matters. But what most people don't understand at this point where we're looking for your niche, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. It's your niche. It's not your tools. Got it. I'm glad it's clear. Perfect. 11:11 in my time zone. A portal opens. Let's dive in. So now we're going to look at a couple of things in your chart. Not just, okay, a couple more other little things. And I don't know exactly how long we're going, but if you have to go at some point, we're probably going to go at least 20 more minutes. But yeah, I just want to get it, like, bring this really home with you today. So you can always watch the rest on replay if you need to. So first of all, this was your experience. This was your reason. This has probably a lot to do with your niche, right? It might not, but it might. I don't know yet, Pamela. Hold on a second. Both probably. So this is what your authority is for, right? People often ask like, yeah, but if I need an invitation, how can I, like, we think we need to take any invitation, or not we, but a lot of projectors think like we have to build our niche based on what we get invited for. And sometimes it can be true, but here's what matters. You have your authority. As projectors, we have 5, right? Because we're so special. We get the most amount of authorities. So mine is self-projected. So it's basically the center of my chest, right? Talking it out helps because then I can feel into how does it feel when I like talk about it? How does it feel in the center of my chest? But because I accidentally found my authority in my 20s. So that's another story, but I've been practicing it for over 20 years before I ever knew about human design. I can go there like also with visualization, with imagination, with journaling, like, or sometimes, yeah, I just can tap into my authority in a myriad of ways, let's just say, right? If it's your spleen, you have that power in the moment, or that before your brain hits in knowing, but you gotta trust it, right? So that's the scary thing. If it's your emotional authority, you want to have that clarity in your body over time, right? Through your emotional wave. It's not like this immediate, you might also have immediate knowings in the moment. Everyone can, because we all have a spleen, right? But the way how we use our spleen is different. So for you, it's more consistent to have that emotional clarity over time in your body, right? Do I want to serve these people? Do I want to help with that problem, right? Do I want to do jobs or do I want to do relationships? I'm not sure. Today I'm feeling really excited and it's jobs. Oh, tomorrow I'm feeling a little more internal and it's still jobs. Okay. And then you come out the other side, clarity in the moment. Oh, it's jobs. I want to help people find their job that they love, or whatever it is that you do. Then we have mental, which is no inner authority, but it is actually an inner authority. I feel that's the most misleading conception. Do we have any mental projectors on board? I love helping mental projectors find their stuff. Me, okay. Mental projectors, your mind is for the other people. You have no access to your mental mindness. It's not for you. Your mind is here, your ajna is here to guide others. For yourself, oh, we have 5-1 and Katarina too. Heart-based projector. Anyway, your mind um as a mental projector, your ajna is for guidance for the other people. For you, your body is your sounding board, right? So you talk things out, but it's also, you can do it visually, whatever your connection is with your body, you feel into your body. And most of my mental projector clients and friends have expressed it this way, that a yes just feels expansive in their body because all of the body is open, right? So they have to be really, really wise about using all of those centers. And the wisdom is, does it feel expansive or does it feel contractive? And then is the contractive the fear, or is the no just no expansiveness? Is the no just a neutral? That is your job to find out as a mental projector, right? But a yes is usually that expansive feeling from everything under your throat, because you can have the throat defined or not, but everything under the throat, does it feel expansive? That is your compass, right? And then last but not least, we have the willpower authority, which is all about, does this serve me? Because if it serves you, then it serves everyone else, right? It's also a heart. It's also kind of connected to the heart chakra, because the G center and the will/heart center together, they make the heart chakra. But it's a little different focus, right? For me, it's just like that. Ooh, does my heart feel a yes to this? And for the heart or will center, it's more like, does this benefit me? Do I want to do this, right? So I hope this helps a little, just as a revisiting of what is your authority and how do you listen to it? And do you actually listen to it, or do you just notice it and then go do something else? Do you notice it and then go listen to your mind, right? That is not the thing. So the original invitation for a projector always comes through the authority, and that includes your business, right? So it's a silo around you, and I like to see it as like a thing I'm in, like a silo. This is my internal process. This is where I'm not thinking about business. I'm not thinking about my clients. This is just me and my authority. Do I want to do this? Is this for me? Is this what I want to focus on? And then my authority gives me the answer, right? And we have to be really, really tuned in. in order to know this. And this is why using our chart for our business is so wonderful and so important, because we can use it this way. And then as soon as we have this clarity, and it doesn't matter G center defined or undefined, right? We can still do this. I've had many undefined G center clients who I've helped find their niche, and they're really happy with it. They're thriving, and they never thought, it's not that you can't have a direction or an identity. It's just that you have to be wise about it, become wise about it. And this is what your authority is for, right? Ask yourself in that silo of your own space, what do I care about? And the exercise that we did, why did you get yourself into this, is a good indicator, right? But it's still ultimately up to your authority. You could say, like, I don't give a poop about all of this, what I've been through. What I really want to help people with now is how to raise a guinea pig, just because my guinea pig's over there, Well, if that's your authority, then follow that, because you know what? And if you remember nothing else from this class, your authority is going to bring you to success. So the more you're going to listen to it when it comes to niching as well, that is when you're going to become more and more successful. And especially when you follow it, when it does not make sense, because your authority, what makes sense is up here. This is your limited mind. This is not going to go get you bigger or more clarity. This can make connections, but it's led by your authority, your body, your wisdom, So got to be very, very diligent with you listening to your authority. If you don't know much about HD, I was going to say, this sounds like exactly what I would like. Oh, how can you find your specific authority? It's in your chart. It'll say what kind of projector you are. It'll say projector emotional, projector splenic, projector mental. It'll say self-projected or ego projector. It'll say in your chart. You answered a question I had earlier. Perfect. That's great, Lisa. Apparently, I heard it through the cosmos. So this is the space where you make the decision of what you go for, right? And then we take it outside. So this is a little bit already what we talked about in the beginning. Now that you're clear on what your authority is telling you, what you and your authority, this is kind of your creative process right here, right? So your creative process guides you, your authority, your intuition, whatever you want to call it, spirit, God, your heart, For me, it's all the same thing, because I am spirit, God, all the things. But I have to make a little mental distinction for myself so that I stay clear on this, because if I see other coaches do other things, I might get sideswiped. Oh, maybe I should do this because I'm very, very open, Maybe I want to do that. Maybe I want to do this. Oh, this sounds like a fun idea, right? Oh no, wait, check. Let's go back in my silo. What's actually mine, right? So I only have like one channel and two centers. So I get sideswiped all the time. So then after I'm clear on this, then I start people pleasing, right? Then I start thinking about, how does this help the people in my life that I want to help? How does this help? How does this help that person that I want to solve the problem for? How does it help them? So indicators and things we can look at in our chart in order to get a little better idea. So first of all, outside of your chart, what are your values, right? Maybe you really value being a mother. In my case, just to cut it shorter a little bit, in my case, what do I really value? And I value many things, of course, because I'm a complex human being. But in this purpose of my business, I really value money, because I know how much projectors are struggling oftentimes in business, especially in the early phases, later not as much anymore, but to make money. So, or later in the stages, to make money in a way that feels light and easy and fun. And because I know that projectors have a much easier time in life when we're super financially supported. and our businesses cannot survive when we don't make money. So for me, that's a huge value of why I do what I do. So you can also see like, yeah, I really like helping people with their business, but what I really care about is that they have a super spicy love life, or that they have that hot, spicy body that they feel like invincible in, right? That they feel like superwoman in their bodies, or whatever it is, what is that value? You can even do that without your chart if you're really tuned in, but sometimes it's just nice to look at the chart, and it's just nice to have sometimes the charts help when we don't have those connections, right? So for example, let me just see real quick. Share. So this is my chart if you wanted to look ever. Everything revealed about me. So we can look, for example, when it comes to values, we can look at our moon gates, right? So moon on my conscious side, and genetic matrix has now this hovering over thing. Dispersion. I don't know what that means, but that's what they call it in here. I like to look at all of it together. What does the 59 mean in gene keys? What does it mean in human design? What does it mean in quantum human design? There's so many beautiful resources out there, and you can combine them all. They're all just different iterations of an archetypal energy. So it also has to do with intimacy, not just physical intimacy, but also like being close with people. That's like on my physical, on my left side, right? On the right side, ideas. So it's the ideas gate. So I value ideas. I'm an idea vessel, right? So that is one thing I can look at. Okay, I don't know. Does that fit with my business? We'll see, right? But then I can extend it, and hold on, this is very complex. I'll show you a little. This is my astro human design chart. So I can look at it combined in here. Where's my moon in here? Oh, it's in the second house. So now, and for some of you, if you're a hardcore astrologist, there's 50 million different ways of calculating things. I just really like this one where all the houses are the same size, and where it's not house and sign overlap, right? So I use this, it has a special way of being, I'm not an astrologist, right? But so I just use this basic view. So my moon is in my second house. And what is the second house? It's, amongst other things, it's the house of money, right? So I can look, where is my moon in my astro chart if my gates in human design don't give me so much? But I also really value intimacy. So we can also look my Mercury and my Chiron. So my Chiron is my wounded healer, where I'm constantly getting wisdom from an open wound that's passing out, is in my seventh house, which is the house of relationships, intimate relationships, but also client relationships, right? I'm not really oozing pus from the client relationships. I have pretty awesome clients, but romantic is my weakness. Romantic relationships. My chart's also ruled by Venus, because I'm a Libra rising and North Node and Pluto, so a lot of Venus. So it's all about love in my life. But yeah, so my wounded healer is, so I could see myself in the future combined with like my values of the 59 being in my moon on the unconscious side, which is intimacy, and my Mercury, which is my soul's message, and also my wounding being in the seventh house of relationships. I really am feeling like in the future I will do relationship stuffs, right? I'm not feeling quite the embodiment there yet. Getting there. This last year is huge shift, but different subject. So that's where I can also look for those things. But now I was first looking at the moon in my astro chart, second house, money, right? Makes sense. Also, my Neptune is here, my spiritual purpose, or my veiled work purpose, also in the second house. So money is definitely a thing that I'm very energetically equipped to help people with, right? So that's where we can look. Then, like I already said, the challenges from Chiron. So where is your Chiron in your chart? In your human design chart, if you don't have this software, you can go, because this software shows the Chiron in a specific view. But if quantum and Chiron, go to freehumandesignchart.com. That's Karen Curry Parker's chart calculator, and there she calculates the Chiron. So you're looking at then if you have a regular human design chart, you probably don't have it, but on freehumandesignchart.com, you're going to look for the fourth one from the bottom. For me, that's gate 27 and gate 3. So just for your info, the left side, the unconscious side, is not in the astro chart. You can find that view in this software, but you don't, like, that's way complex here. For this purpose, we're not even going there. But my Chiron in my 7th house in astro is in gate 27, which is a lot about not allowing people their own healing growth journey, well, because I'm taking over too much, or I'm taking too much care, basically, too much caretaking. So 27, but you can also look at it, what does it mean in a business sense? So one of my private clients had that gate there too, and she was having these same problems with her clients, and that made her that resulted in her not being able to scale her business, because she was always overcompensating for them and over delivering, and that was exhausting her. So then she's like, oh, that's my Chiron. And now she knows that's like her constant evolution. But this is also something that you can look at. Is that something that I'm set up energetically to help people with? So that's where you can also look at your Chiron. Then you can also look at defined G center versus undefined. We already spoke about that a little bit. If you have your G center undefined, the niching might feel a little more like, oh, but today I feel like this, tomorrow I feel like that. It's all about, again, like listening to your authority, but then also, here's my PSA, a human, as a projector human, you can be slightly different than as a projector business owner. You might have a different identity as a business owner, right? As a business owner, you might understand it's very, very helpful for me to pick one niche and go with it for a while, even though I might feel in my G center that I'm torn here, torn there, torn everywhere. Maybe you want to satisfy that in another area of your life, and in your business, you become really wise about it, and you decide, okay, in my business, I'm going to stick to this niche for a while at least, because why you're a business owner is because, or as a projector especially, you want to become recognized and decide what you want to become recognized over time for. And so when you have a niche that allows you to build that recognition and that success over time, that's a business decision. That's a strategic decision, right? That's not a human, I feel like this, I feel like that, I'm very flowy with the wind decision, and it might be easier maybe for defined G centers to find a niche, but I don't even know, I have had a lot of defined G center clients who've also had a challenge with that. So the other thing that you can also look at, and this is the last thing we're going to look at in the chart. And if you don't have this, there's also a way to find this, I can tell you. So for those human design nerds of yours on here who already know this, what is your motivation? So mine is need. If you don't know your motivation, you are able to find this. If you create a free account, you have to make an account. It's not on the free chart on the website. A free account at Genetic Matrix, which is this software. And then you're going to let it show you, and it'll look slightly different, but you're going to let it show you the personality side. You're going to have, and it's only the black. And then don't say, oh my God, I'm a reflector in my personality, because human design is the combination of both sides. And as you see, I have no centers defined on this side, on the right side. So that doesn't mean I'm a reflector, but it will show you when you create a free account at geneticmatrix.com, and you're then going to calculate your chart, and then you go to personality, which is the right side. It will show you your motivation. Mine is need. There are 6 different motivations, and my trajectory is novice. So I'm here to master one thing after the other. For need, there's also the trajectory of mastery, which is just about mastering one thing, right? So for me, that helped me with my niche in the way that I know that it really motivates me when I get people what they need in order to get what they came to me for, their goal, right? If I can give people what they need in order to get a result, and it's not just one thing over and over and over again, but it's one thing after the other, right? So for my niche, it's like that helped me because I help projectors grow their business. I help them make more money, but I help them through many different things that I master one after the other, right? So yes, I have one thing that I specifically, like I said, I love messaging, right? But I also master all the other things that they need, right? We do strategy in our upcoming course in the gold mine. We do sales psychology, we do energetics, we do so many different things. So that is the trajectory. So what is your motivation? There are 6 different ones. And then once you know that, and I want to empower you here. Let me see what you guys are saying. Do I do one-on-one chart readings? Not as much chart readings. I do more like chart integrated strategy sessions for business and all kinds of stuff like that. So let me stop sharing my screen. Your motivation is a big guiding factor for you, right? So there are different ones. If you know yours already, you might just listen for yours right now. But if you don't know, maybe you want to rewatch this later or take a note. So, for example, the first motivation, the first number is fear. If you have the motivation of fear, it's very much like a 1 line. So I'm a 1-3 in my profile. The fear is very much the flavor of a 1 line. So it's all about studying, creating a foundation of knowledge, researching, gathering information, that kind of drive. The name of the motivation doesn't as much matter, but some people resonate with it. But just remember that it's very much like a 1 line. Number 2 is hope motivation. That's all about, it motivates you if you can give people hope, right? If you can plant seeds of hope in others. Barack Obama is a projector, and his motivation is hope, and his whole campaign was about hope. So that just giving people that hope gives you drive. And this is just also for you to know and tap into yourself. You can combine it with your niche. It's like, oh yeah, I really, just in your head, right? It's not as much the niche description, but it's more like, oh yeah, that's what I do. Like, for example, for the third one, desire, right? It's very much a leadership motivation, learning the skills needed in order to be an effective leader, right? Maybe that is part of your niche, but maybe it's motivating you to stand up for your people in a certain way. Then my niche I already went into, 4 line, is the need. It's very community based as well, right? Because it's corresponding to the 4 line. Getting my community what they need. this is a very good example, is this masterclass, right? It's community focused. I'm giving community efforts because it's a 4-line energy, but I'm giving you guys something that you need, like how to find your niche. And it's not as much detail oriented. It's just as much as you need, right? Then we have the 5th one is guilt. So this is very much in line with the 5-line profile line, is like, it's a fix it attitude. It's being very practical. Something's not working and I can fix it, right? So you're really here to fix things. And then the last but not least is the 6-line energy of motivation innocence, which is very much, it's a very pure and heart-based angel energy, for lack of a better term, right? I have so many clients who are this, but you can also be incredibly successful. People with this motivation often start out by asking like, oh, but how can I be successful? A lot of my previous coaches in the multi-million-dollar industry are innocence motivation. It's because they come so pure and they are so service-based, but it's all about doing things just because you want to and being very play-based. But if you have people like that in your life, you will know they are very, like, being guided or getting advice from them is very much about, they have no ulterior motives. They just do it for you, right? And ultimately, when people have a business and they lead it from that motivation, and I lean into that motivation myself a lot of the time, just with my intention, right? Asking myself, if I was innocence motivation, how would I show up? Because it's so pure and it's like people feel so good about that. So they feel so safe, they feel so seen. But for you as a person, if you have it, it's just about what drives you, what has your interest, what feels like play to you, what do you want to play with all the time, what is just because you want to. And it's not a selfish energy, but in that regard it kind of is. Like, you have to allow yourself to just do it because it's play for you, because you want to. My daughter has it. She's a 2-center splenic projector. You can't force that girl to do anything that she's not into, right? She's like, oh, I don't want to do it. Doesn't feel like fun or play to me. And when it does, then she can move mountains. She can clean up the whole house, move all the furniture. She's 13, right? She can get shit done like nobody's business. Anyways, so if you're finding your motivation now or later, I will really want to invite you to include that in your niche. If you can, if not, just use it as your driver for the niche. Mine is innocence. Oh, I love it. See, I'm a pro at innocence because I've had so many clients. I'm a secret innocence motivation myself now. I kind of took it on. And that's also, again, we all have all of the chart. It's just what you have defined. You have extra special emphasis in, guilt, motivation, fixing. Yeah. And don't make that emoji face there for guilt motivation. It's beautiful. You're seeing what needs to be fixed and you're fixing it. You're helping people fix something. That's beautiful. Like, what's wrong with that? Hope. Here we go. People. No, we have more. Yeah, some more innocence. I don't know what it means. Oh, you have that fix it attitude. It's very 5-line energy. It's very practical, solution based. You got a problem, I can fix it, right? I did mention desire. That's leadership, getting the skills to be a leader. So opposite of desire, of innocence. So if you're finding yourself in innocence motivation, that's probably not going to get you motivated. That makes sense as an interior designer. Your home is broken and shit. I can fix it. How do I make money on hope? Okay, this is already the wrong question. You're not making money on hope. Giving people hope motivates you. You're making money for solving a problem or getting people what they want, Beata. This is your business. Your motivation is not your business. Stop telling yourself things. Stop telling yourself things that make you feel sad and heavy. Is need about what the client really needs or what he thinks he needs? That's a good question. You're getting the client what they need in order to solve the problem. When it comes to what do they think they need and what do you know they need, that's a marketing and messaging thing, right? Because if you speak to them in your messaging about what you think they need, they're not going to get you. If you speak in your marketing and messaging about what they think they need and how they understand the problem, then you're going to get them into your world, and then you can do behind the curtain what you know they need. So it's not, so it's a we have to get through a lot of brain loops and walk a lot of territory up here in order to be a successful business owner. That's why I love this so much, because it's so complex to be a business owner, but it's also, ultimately it's very straightforward. So when you turn all that stuff into the external, and we're going back to a business's purpose is to solve someone's problem or get them what they want. And how would they say that in their own words? So that's why I drilled you so long in the beginning on, why did you start this? What matters to you? So let's take this home. And the thing is also, you can do this class again. You can take this class again in 6 months, in a year, whenever you want to, or go through this process again, because you don't need to stick to this niche forever. And this was a question in the comments too. How long do I stick to a niche until I know that I want to do it or not, right? So this is a business strategy decision. But if you're really listening to your authority, it's most likely going to give you something that's going to last a long time. But also, if you're not quite sure yet, you can just play with a niche for a few months, but you definitely want to give it some time for recognition to build, because you want to make sure that you set this all up in a way that you allow yourself to become successful by being recognized over time. So really, really going in on it. So what did you say there? What happens when you dial in? And if your emotional authority, it might not be an answer today. You might take a few days, right? What is that thing that your authority said you really want to help people solve? What is the problem that you want to help people solve? Based on what you said, maybe in the beginning, like, was it migraines? Was it being overweight? What was the thing that, like, not being the artist, or not being allowed, or not feeling like I'm allowed to be me, be allowed to be successful as an artist? What is that problem where we really, really drilled you in the beginning that matters to you? For me, it was like, I just don't know how to make money. Like, I don't know how, I want to help people, but I don't know how to make money with it, right? That's what got me into this. And this is what still keeps me driving all these years later, So what is that for you? What is that problem? And you can also have it based on your values and in your astro chart. In which house in your astro chart is your moon, for example, right? What is that problem that you really care about helping people solve? Live your life to the fullest. But what problem are you solving? Now Anna is saying live your life to the fullest. That is getting them what they want. But I want you to be connected to both. I want you, because you have a business, you're helping people solve a problem and you're helping people get what they want. And sometimes, and this is a different container, right? When we're getting really detailed about marketing and messaging, sometimes we talk about one, sometimes we talk about both. I don't recommend selling to the problem, because that's pain-based marketing, and then you get a whole other set of problems. But I want you to be really connected to both, because your business, people are paying you to solve a problem, right? Even when people are selling bananas or apples, They're solving your problem of being hungry for fruit, you know? So, based on what we said in the beginning, what is a problem that you really love solving? I want to help people stop buying the wrong thing for their home, but I feel like most people don't care. Okay. The second part is no, is not for this class, right? The second part, but I feel like most people don't care. That is a mindset thing. That's not part of this class. Fine. I want to help people stop buying the wrong thing for their home. Moon represents on our chart. Moon is a lot about your values. It's also about your emotions, what you care about, why you do what you do. So in your astro chart, the house that it's in will give you probably a good indicator of why you do, what your values are. Moon in the first house. So the first house is the house of self, you know. The house, it also represents the body. Where's my cheat sheet? Did I throw it away finally? There's a lot of Googling you can do around the houses. Just FYI, because we can't go into all of this, right? So if you're saying, like, you can Google, what does the first house represent? Or what does the first house stand for? Or, you know, so that will give you a good indicator. So if you know that already, 12th house, it's all about spirituality and all kinds of other stuff. But focus also, I know like you guys are all figuring out the figuring out the thing now because you are projectors and you want to crack the system. But if you're just here, what problem do you love solving? I help people find their passions and how to niche them so they can make the money they truly desire and be deeply satisfied with their career. But what's the problem they're having? We're going back to that, right? You're already looking for the desires. You're welcome. What is my biggest problem is not being able to find my niche, not being able to hear my intuition. Well, is that the problem that you help people with, or is that your current problem? Because as a business owner and as a growing human being, you will always go through problems as well, right? Me and my business right now, I have problems and challenges that I've hired coaches for. That's how I roll. In my personal life, I always have growth and problems, right? I might hire a coach for that or not, or might buy a course or a book. But what you are helping people with is most likely something that you've already mastered and healed. And as a business owner, that is what you're basing your business on. You're not basing your business on something that you're currently having a problem with, right? So if you're having, Carmen, if you're having a problem to find your niche and not able to hear your intuition, I don't recommend that you make that your niche right now. I recommend that you make something your niche that inspired you to get into business or that you're already really, really good at, right? So that might be something once you master this that you can help people with in the future, if that makes sense. I love solving floor plans, bad layouts. Oh, I can master any floor plan. I don't care how hopeless it seems. I will fix it. There, fix it is already your guild motivation. Terrible floor plan is the problem. Challenging floor plans. Man, that's amazing. And that can be a thing you can get known for, right? If you're just like, I really don't feel connected to being an interior designer anymore. I don't know, this is not fun. But now when you're speaking, like, I'm curious how much more fun it sounds to you right now. You're like, oh my God, give me the challenge of a disgusting floor plan and I'll make this home rock shit awesome for you, right? These words you might not use, but just feel into yourself. Like, do you want to be known for being the lady who can make any challenging floor plan like the most amazing home? Sounds fun to me, right? Sounds like a hole in the puzzle. Sounds like, yeah, that's you, right? I mean, interior designer. I help you buy the right furniture versus give me a fucking challenging floor plan and I'll do it, dude. You won't have a clue of what hit you when you see that thing. See the difference? Does that feel fun to you? Oh my God, there you go. And I know you've messaged me before. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And I was like, give me floor plans. Hear the inner authority. Again, Cassie, dive into deeper. Why? Why? What's the problem? Okay, we can go through this whole thing again. Like, I can drill you deeper. Just go and say, like, what would Alex say? Would she drill this deeper or not? You know, this is I really want you to take this home. The distinction of the reason why they're having a problem and the problem itself, right? The problem itself is not, it can be something internal, it can be a feeling like depression or burnout, but most of the time, the problem is something that manifests in the 3D reality, right? Being homeless. Don't work with people, you know, because no, don't not work with people who are homeless if you're feeling called to it and it's your authority and it's your calling. But homeless people will most likely not invest in your offering if you're at this level, if you're here and you're at this level in business. But I just as an example, you know, finding the right job. So the problem is they're in the wrong job and they're having a horrible time, most likely, right? Or being underpaid, or they're not getting the promotion. I got the word. Living in shortage from money, love, freedom. Yeah, but which one is your authority guiding you toward? Because if you speak to all of these again, then you're going to speak to no one. So you want to really pick one. Pick one. So how I like to say this too, and we're about to wrap up because there's going to be things that you are going to feel into and drill into after this class. But your niche and the biggest thing you want to give yourself permission to is to play around with one niche for over a few months to really see how you connect with it, to really allow it to land, to really allow yourself to develop a message and to see if the recognition feels good. You know, you're going to get recognition either way, but is it the recognition that you want to get for a long period of time? So then it's the question of if you were stranded on a lonely island for the rest of your life, would it be sushi? Would it be chicken soup? Would it be coconut puffs? What is your niche that you're taking with you on that lonely island? And you know, I love food. I love so much food, but I know it would be sushi. And that's how I picked my niche. I love working with manifestors. I love generators. I love all humans. I can help any human grow their business, even a mani-gen, right? Just kidding. But if I had to pick one on a lonely island, it would be projectors, right? So yes, you can help people with money, love, freedom, but what is that one for you that you would take on your lonely island? The problem that you love to solve. Cassie says, oh, there you go. Moon is in the 4th house, family and home. There you got it. Repair relationships. Oh my God, Beata, that's wonderful. I guide people to fully trust their own senses so that they can really unpack their whole singing potential and live the life they are here for. But what's the problem, Anna? So their singing is crap, or what is it? What's the problem? Like, what's the challenging floor plan that you have? Bye, Brady. See you next time. You're so welcome. Mothers in healthcare careers transition back into the home and find an alternate way of finding purpose and income at home with digital marketing online. It's a little long, but you have a very clear idea, and that's what matters. You can always simplify this down, but make an income at home with digital marketing, right? I help adolescents stop the cycle of worry so they can get a good night's sleep. Perfect. And a lot of people will pay a lot of money to get a good night's sleep. Don't underestimate these things if you have a specific outcome, right? The more specific the problem is that you solve, the more likely it is that people are going to pay you for it. Right? So when my daughter was little, she's 13 now, and we did everything wrong with like sleep training. We had no idea. I hired a sleep coach for like $2,000 to help me and the whole family and the child sleep, right? So sleeping is like, yes, please give me sleep. So play with that, and it can always expand in the future. It can change, right? But yeah, because then just think about, Lisa, what happens when an adolescent gets good sleep? Anyone, just spin that outward, and you're like, that connects you to the value of your offering. I have people figure out who they are and love that person so they can stop escaping into addictive behaviors that leave them sick, broke, and sad. Self-undoing escapism. Perfect. See, there's the thing that you're connecting. I love it. So stop escaping addictive. So stop addictive behaviors that make you sick, broke, and sad, and figure out who they are and love that person. Love it. People is too broad. And here's the thing, if you don't just want to help people, first of all, we're diving into the problem. That's most of the niche is the problem, right? People with that problem, but you can make it more people specific, right? It might be mothers, it might be projectors, it might be business owners, it might be fathers, it might be people in an abusive relationship, it might be singles, it might be married people with a terrible relationship, right? Or who don't speak to their partner anymore. So it can be expanded to a person, but what I really want to focus you most on first is the problem that you love solving, because that's the problem that you get when you solve it, you get the recognition for, and the right recognition makes you so successful as a projector. And from there, when you're feeling successful, you can only create more success, right? So, but you can, and this is up to you, and a very beautiful invitation that you can expand it to which person do you want to help with this, bringing people to their unique radiance and make it hearable in the voice and music. The problem is that they are stuck in outer expectations and what other people think or say, and do not trust their own senses, and therefore have no chance to unlock their full unique potential. Perfect, in a way that, yes, this is what happens inside of them, and they have no chance to. This is all still not tangible, Anna. I just want to point this out. Stuck in outer expectations is an internal thing. What other people think or say is an internal thing. They do not trust themselves is an internal thing. They have no chance is a future prognosis. What is the problem tangibly in the 3D world that they're dealing with? And I'm just drilling you on this because I know there is one in your case. Otherwise, I wouldn't be so sure. So I'm just scared to focus on one topic or floor plans. I hear you, and this is also another subject. This is where you have to come into your power. But it's a different subject, and this is going to be your fun work. This is where you will self-qualify yourself over time to become the leader, to become the person. And if you have the guts to stand up and do this, you're going to see magic unfold, So that's the work. But that's not part of this class. Moon is in the 6th house. It could mean, what does this mean for your niche? I don't know, but it could mean that you really value daily habits, daily life, rhythms, health. 6th house is a lot about health. So I wonder how that resonates, how much that matters to you, that subject. Motherhood coach, you're so welcome. Third house communication, express authentically, something like that. You will get to it. I help black sheep, the truth teller in the family, become disentangled from family patterns and find their voice, mission, and people. See how much more focused you are now, Carmen. I love it. So there's more that you can play with, that you can take home with all of this. I know I've given you a lot to think about, and we're definitely, if you want to have a chance to work on this deeper as well, we're going to go deeper into this in my upcoming course, the Projector Goldmine. So what I really want to invite you to do is I want to invite you to keep this very, very simple. And as a homework, if you do like homeworks, connect to what is the problem that I like solving and have it be like a 3D outcome in real life, not just an internal thing, unless you know that the problem that you're solving is the internal thing, right? In Anna's case, I know that you care that people become a singer and have the voice that they have, right? And be really authentic in their voice. But then connect to what is the equivalent on the problem side to that physical problem. Physical, you're getting them something physical, a voice that sounds like them, that is truly them and that sounds unique. What is the equivalent on the problem side? So connect to the problem that you love solving and make it into a desire, which in Anna's case, I just gave you an example. And then extend it to, if necessary. So in Anna's case, that could be professional singers or choir conductors. In my case, it's projector entrepreneurs. What is it in your case? Is it needed? Does it make your offer more, does it make your niche more specific if you add it, or is it enough that you say, I want to help people lose 20 pounds who put it on over the holidays? I can, that's the niche, people who have that. Or is there another qualifying factor? So take that as your homework if you would like to do that. We workshopped a lot of stuff in our class today. I'm so freaking proud to see you all going so deep on this. Ditch your tools for this completely. And then you have your niche. You're so welcome. And so for those of you who want to go deeper with me, I do have a couple of offers, and I have a special offer for just you people here on the masterclass. So the Projector Goldmine is a course that starts in a few days. The early bird for it ends tomorrow evening. So 1:11 end of day PST. And it's where we go even deeper into this niching thing. But we're also talking, it's very much about the how to build a business, like how to build the structure of a business, what to focus on to build a business that makes you 10K a month and beyond. That gets you really to the 6 figures a year consistently. And the strategy stays the same for whether it's 100,000 a month or 500,000 a month. There's just slight variation. So we're really going to put in a strategy foundation for you with this course that will carry you to 6 figures and beyond. A lot of the work that goes beyond there is also, and also in the early stages, is also energetics. But this course is purely the how, the practical, the strategy, how to build an audience that really trusts you and loves you, how to focus your community efforts, not just building a community, but how to do it. We're also going to have one deep dive module that's going to go into how to message for getting you the perfect clients into there. So this is a program for you if you're sick of starting out every month from zero and you also want to build some recurring revenue over time. Because for me, that's been the hardest when I know like, oh, I had a really great month, and then it's a zero again. And I know like, okay, nothing's coming in unless I sell again this month. And what's it going to do? And what's it going to be? And flying by the seat of my pants. And so putting in this strategy has helped me a lot to like every month to just relax and like, oh, I know there's already thousands coming in before I even sell anything. And that makes me so relaxed, and I can just continue to focus on what I'm best at, and I don't need to do anything just for the money. So that's what this has really helped me with. It's also for you if you already have an audience or a big audience, but they're not buying as much as you'd like. So how to really get the people that you already have in your audience to not just friend zone you and say that you're so inspiring, but also really buy from you, right? It's also for you, like I said, if you want to build recurring revenue over time and not have ads and funnels, because that's not what we're going to do in there. If you want to know the practical how to get to consistent 10K months and scale, because at one point, you only have so many spots in your calendar. If you want to scale and build something that you can like make bigger and bigger and bigger over time, reach more people, help more people, this is what you're going to learn here too. If you want to have more money in your account without more calls on your calendar, that's always a benefit for me because I have a little one, a 1-year-old, and I have 2 bigger kids. Or if you're booked and you can't imagine how to make more money because your calendar is already full, this will also show you how, with like putting the right strategies in place. And if you just like to build the scalable foundation so that you can grow your business to 6-figure years and beyond, that's what we're doing in there. So if you have any questions about this, let me know. If you are on this masterclass, this is the only place I'm offering this. The early bird is for everyone. This is until tomorrow evening. It's on early bird for 1,888 pay in full, or you can choose a payment plan over 6 months, which is really affordable for 337. For everyone on this masterclass, if you're signing up in the early bird, you're also going to get my offer course, which is a $444 course where you're going to learn how to build your offer in alignment with your chart. So we're going to go really, really deep into chart, how to use the chart for building an offer that basically sells itself, which is very complementary to the work we're going to do in the strategy in the gold mine. So yeah, if you sign up within the early bird window until tomorrow evening PST, you're automatically going to get that course, the offer. So if you're on my email list, you probably already got an email about it. If you're following me on Instagram, I'm going to just pop the link for the course in the chat as well. You're not getting this if you're on replay, then you have to go find it on my website or on social media. You can just copy it out and look at it later. There's a lot of information on the sales page about it as well. I also have one spot open currently in my private 4-month mentorship, which is where you get access to all of my courses. And also the German mastermind is starting on the 15th, and there's also 2 more spots open. So if you want to work with me closer and be in all my courses, those are 2 other options. If you've bought a course from me in the last 30 days, you can use that as a credit toward the gold mine. Just wanted to let you know that part as well. So there's lots of options to take this deeper if you want to work with me more on building your business, on growing your business. That's what I got right now. And otherwise, I just really hope to see you on the internet and continue to be in contact. Let me know if you need anything, if you have any questions. And I hope to see you in the gold mine. And if not, I hope to see you online. You are so, so welcome. And I hope that you have a very good idea of your niche now and that you know exactly which problems you love to solve, what you like to help people get for their lives, and who those people are. So You are so, so welcome. This has been so helpful. And DMing you for the gold mine. Perfect. And we already have a lovely group of people there. So great fun. I love it. If you're a 3-line, you're up for fun, or a Sagittarius. You're so welcome. I hope this was amazing. I am so grateful that you were here. And I love that I get to serve you. Sending you so much love. I will send the replay out as well. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you on the internet. Thank you for all the love. Bye.